Hey, here I am on the floor again. I haven't done it on the floor for ages. I've been spending loads of time on the floor since I did the Perry Nicholson thing. So here I am again, on the floor. Peter, on the floor. Check this out before I get started. So I went for a walk yesterday, and that's part of this actually. I went for a nice long walk yesterday in the searing heat. And I've got my nice little, I've got my suntan going on. I don't know if you can see that. Check that out. A nice suntan line going on there. So I'm different colours all over. And I wore a polo top yesterday. So I've now got a nice little V in there as well. It's coming along very nicely. I've got like about 3 different suntans. It's fantastic. I might have to go out in a bikini as well. Yeah, I might do that at some point. I might do like Friday bikini day down the park or something like that, and then go out in that and get a suntan like that as well. Anyhow, that question, what does being fit, I've put it in those, I hate it when people do that, but I've put it in those because what is it? Because it means something different to everybody, right? So I was going to ask this question today anyway, and then it's kind of become really relevant. I mean, it's always relevant, but it's become relevant because of a session I had in the park earlier. And there was one of the guys, we weren't doing anything major, we weren't doing anything with heavy weights. It was 1 bell, we were doing a few goblet squats, some swings, some crawling, just loaded carries. I put a video out this morning of the guys doing it actually, and then I did the same in the later session. And this guy was getting a sore calf. He was getting a sore calf. So, you know, he was kind of rubbing it a bit, and I said, right, well, let's work out what it is. So we did a few bits and pieces, and then we did some hip mobility stuff, and he could feel really tight in the hip on the same side as where his calf was hurting. So, you know, and then when we did this mobility stuff, he was like, I can feel that all the way down my leg. I can feel it in my calf. I can feel my calf freeing up when I do this hip mobility. And I was like, that's because it's not actually in your calf, it's in your hip. Okay? So, what's this got to do with what being fit means, right? Well, if this guy said, right, I'm going to get fitter, and then decided, right, I'm going to do a half marathon and goes running, and he's got a locked up hip that is causing him pain in his calf, where a lot of people who start running get pain, which is in their calves, right, in your Achilles and all that sort of stuff. Or you get sore feet from flat feet, all of that sort of stuff. Okay, this, you know, so he might be getting fitter, like I was talking about yesterday, cardio fit. Everyone's obsessed with cardio. He might be getting, or perceive that he's getting fitter. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Ant. Johnny, I hope your calf's better. Actually, this might help you. Actually, it's not you I'm talking about. It's somebody else. But yeah, if you know, if he's going running loads, see, he might get like cardio fit. He might think like, oh, I feel fitter, I feel better, and all that. I can, you know. However, if you don't address the situation with the hip that was causing the situation with the calf, then that's going to end up hurting more, and you're going to be out anyway. So then you're not going to be able to do anything, right? Hello, Mark. So it's kind of being fit. So for me, my idea of being fit is being able to do the stuff that I want to do. Being able to do whatever I want to do. So if I wanted to go and do penny fan, which I did last week, do the fan dance, I did that. I was fit enough. My official time came in, it was 5 hours 35, which isn't brilliant. Hey, yeah. Ant, exactly. So Ant's had a problem extending his right knee when he's doing swings. He feels like he is, but he's not. So now he's walking around barefoot a lot more, and it makes a big difference. You'll feel the difference. And Ant, you would have seen that in doing those crawls this morning when you were going around in circles, right? You were going in a big arc, and that's because one side was stronger than the other. So when you were going out on the right arm, you were pulling, and that's fine on the crawl. And then when you were going on the left, it was kind of doing that. So then you end up going that way, and you end up coming round. And somebody was doing that on the session afterwards as well, right? These are all things that if you carry on doing stuff for the rest of your life with these sorts of imbalances, you're gonna be getting little bits of pain here and there, little bits of niggles here and there, which is what we're trying to get rid of. So I said to this guy earlier, I gave him a few bits and pieces to do, which I've given to another person to do as well, who was struggling with doing squats, and I gave this exact same thing to them to do and said, right, it'll be in your hips, it's hip mobility, let's get that sorted. it's been working for this other person. So this guy, I was like, right, let's do this, see how it feels. So he said, right, I can feel that. So it was like, right, go home and do it. It takes 2 minutes. It takes 2 minutes. And he could already feel the difference. And he also said about my video yesterday, he said, oh, I watched that. He goes, why is everyone obsessed with cardio? He goes, it doesn't matter. He goes, you get fit in that, but you go for a run, you still get out of breath, right? It's just, that's the way it is. So it's all about getting fitter, as in being able to do more without the pain, without getting out of breath. This is the thing. So without getting out of breath doing everyday stuff. So this is when I see people go to gyms and stuff like that, I'm like, kind of, what are you going for? What is the ultimate goal? What is the ultimate goal? So if you want to get fitter, you know, that's great, but fitter for what? Fitter for what? If it's for a sport and stuff like that, absolutely fine, that's perfect. Then you find a coach in that sport, right? If it's just general, oh, I just generally want to be fitter. So for me, that's what it was, but it was so I could go walking whenever I liked. I could go and do an 8, 9, 10 mile walk and not have to have the next day off and do another one. I'm going to go and do that this weekend. I've got a free weekend, so I'm going to go and I'm probably going to do some like two 15-mile walks or something like that, just if the weather's nice, just to get out and about, because I want to. And it'll pay for my beers when I get back and my mini cheddars. You know, so that's kind of how that's what it means to me. But it means something different to everyone else. So someone might think fitness to me means I want to get ripped and stand on a stage in me tiny little pants and flex me muscles and that, which is fine. So if that's what it is, go and find someone who will help you do that. You know, so, but what I find is most people decide that fitness is, I'm going to go running, I'm going to go rowing, I'm going to go cycling, I'm just going to do more. I'm going to do more. And then end up getting injured and saying, well, fitness isn't for me. However, if you address that stuff. So what we do in the park, what we do here at BKS, what the online stuff is all about as well, and the online monthly, which is coming out this month, there's going to be, you'll be hearing a bit more about that in the next couple of days, but June's one is due out on Sunday at 12 o'clock, so Mark, you'll be getting that. That's all based around getting you moving properly, so you can do all the other stuff. So people think like, well, I want to get fit, so I'm going to run a half marathon, and then I'll be fit. What are you going to do after that? Okay? So the stuff I do is designed so you could go, right, I'm going to go and do a half marathon if you wanted, and you wouldn't really have to train much for it. You're just going to go, right, I'm going to go and do it. I'll do one in a few weeks, and then you'd just be able to go and do it. That's the idea. The idea is to make people be able to do that stuff that they thought that they didn't want to do. So to some people, being fit is just being able to walk without pain, because a lot of people get pain just walking around, and then they think, well, that's just the way it is. So therefore, you know, when I get older, it's just going to be a thing. I'm going to have to end up with a stick and all that. And okay, there are conditions where that happens and muscle waste and stuff and all that, and I know that. But I would say most of it can be prevented. Most of it can be prevented. And when I was at the doctor's the other day about my cholesterol, when they called me in about that, even though it was absolutely fine, I did a video on that the other day, and it was absolutely fine. And she said, you know, because I'm 40, and she said, it's people kind of at your sort of age, if they don't do something about it now, if they wait till, you know, they'll say, well, I'm 40 and my cholesterol's a bit high, but I'm fine and all that. If you wait 10 years or 15 years till you're 50, 55, then it's harder to deal with. You then go, oh, right, okay, I should probably do something about it now, actually, because I left it 15 years ago. That's when it's going to be harder to deal with. It's going to be harder to deal with. You're still not going to be old at 55, however, it is going to be harder to deal with at 55 than it is at 40, because you probably already know at 35, 40, 45, whatever age you are, it's harder to deal with stuff now than you were when you're 20. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. So, have a think about what being fit means to you. Write it in the comments. So even after the video, write it in if you're watching this later on, write it in the comments, let me know. Okay? And then, you know, or just download my program, because it'll start you with all of this stuff anyway. It'll start you with movement. So even if you are, you can be super fit. You can be super fit. You can be running half marathons and stuff like that, but getting pain. So this stuff that I'm talking about will help you with that pain, and then you'll be able to run half marathons better or faster or whatever it is that you do. I just use half marathons as an example because it's the thing at the minute, isn't it? Or it was the thing anyway. It's all Tough Mudders and anyway, it's all endurance stuff, put it that way. That's what people are obsessed with. So, Have a think about it. Let me know. Download my program. And there we go. Simple as that. Simple as that. It's just to get you thinking about it. That's all this is for. Right. I'm off. I've got loads to do. So, talk tomorrow.